Episode 5. How about will dinosaurs ever return? What if, one day, a scientist walked into a laboratory and behind the glass was a dinosaur? Not a fossil, not a hologram, a living dinosaur. It sounds impossible, but here's the strange part. How impossible is it really? For more than 66 million years, dinosaurs have existed only as fossils. Their bones became stone, their footprints became rock, their world disappeared. And yet, humanity has never stopped imagining their return. Movies have shown dinosaurs recreated from ancient DNA. Scientists have actually recovered genetic material from extinct animals, and genetic engineering is becoming more powerful. So the question isn't simply, can we clone a dinosaur? The real question is, do we even have the information needed to build one? Let's start with DNA. DNA is the instruction manual inside living cells. It tells an organism how to grow, how to develop, and how to function. So if we wanted to recreate a Tyrannosaurus, we would need its genetic instructions. And here's where the dream begins to collapse. DNA doesn't survive forever. After an organism dies, its DNA slowly breaks apart. Water, heat, radiation, microorganisms, time, everything works against it. Scientists have recovered ancient DNA from surprisingly old remains. But 66 million years? That's an entirely different problem. No scientifically verified dinosaur DNA has ever been recovered. And without the original genetic blueprint, we don't have the complete instructions. A fossil can show us what a dinosaur looked like, but it can't simply tell us how to build one. Maybe you've seen the idea before. Find a perfectly preserved dinosaur, extract its DNA, put it inside an egg, and wait. But cloning isn't that simple. You need usable genetic material. You need the right cellular machinery. You need an embryo. You need an egg capable of supporting its development. And you need an enormous amount of genetic information. Imagine finding an ancient computer, but almost every line of its code has been erased. You might know what the machine looked like. You might understand what it was supposed to do. But rebuilding the original program would be another problem entirely. That's the dinosaur problem. We have fossils, we have clues, we have living relatives, but we don't have the complete genetic blueprint. Here's where the story gets interesting. Birds are living dinosaurs. That means modern birds carry evolutionary traits inherited from their dinosaur ancestors. And scientists can already modify genes in living animals. Researchers have even explored genetic changes in birds that can produce some ancestral-looking characteristics. But there's an enormous difference between changing a bird and creating a Tyrannosaurus. You can't simply activate a few dinosaur genes. An animal's body depends on thousands of interacting genetic instructions. Bones, muscles, organs, brain development, growth, behavior, everything is connected. Change one system, and another can change with it. So perhaps bringing dinosaurs back wouldn't mean recreating the past. It might mean creating something that never existed before. Imagine scientists eventually create an animal using genetic information from birds and engineered traits inspired by ancient dinosaurs. It has teeth, a long tail, scales, and walks like a small prehistoric predator. Is it really a dinosaur? Or is it something new? This is where science becomes philosophy. Because extinction isn't just the disappearance of a body, it's the disappearance of an entire evolutionary history. You could recreate certain physical characteristics, but you couldn't recreate the ancient world that shaped them. The climate, the forests, the predators, the prey, the diseases, the competition. Millions of years of evolution cannot simply be copied. You might recreate an organism, but you cannot recreate its past. So, will dinosaurs ever return? A true genetically authentic Tyrannosaurus? With today's science, There is no realistic way to do it. And the biggest obstacle isn't imagination, it's information. The original genetic instructions are almost certainly gone. But something strange has already happened. We don't actually need to resurrect dinosaurs because their descendants are still here. Birds, every pigeon, every crow, every eagle, every sparrow. They are living branches of the dinosaur family tree. So perhaps the future won't bring dinosaurs back. Perhaps science will simply help us understand how dinosaurs became what they are today. Maybe that's the real tragedy of extinction. When a species disappears, you don't just lose an animal, you lose a unique evolutionary story that can never happen again in exactly the same way. The dinosaurs are gone, their world is gone, and no laboratory can perfectly rebuild either. But their story continues, in fossils, in birds, in DNA, and in every new discovery that forces us to rethink the past. Perhaps we don't need to bring dinosaurs back. Perhaps understanding them is more extraordinary than resurrecting them. We began this series with one question: what really killed the dinosaurs? Then we asked, could they still exist? How did they become birds? Could humans survive their world? And finally, could they ever return? Maybe they won't, but their story has already done something remarkable. It made a species that appeared millions of years later look at ancient bones and ask one simple question: how? Because the past may be gone, but its mysteries are still alive. And as long as there are mysteries, there will always be another question, another discovery, another how. This is How About How. Stay curious.